Hey, what's going on everybody? Paul Tech here and welcome back to another video. In today's video, I got the Cycrown CycVerve All-terrain electric bike. Now, first of all, I want to send a big shout out, a big thank you to the company Cycrown for sending this e-bike over to me to review so I can share my experience with all of you on YouTube. So thank you very much, Cycrown. All right, so as you can see, the box arrived via FedEx in pretty good condition there. And then you got these 4 straps. I'm going to go ahead and cut off the box here. So I like that this box is reinforced with these 4 additional straps, so this box is not going to open up via shipping. All right, so removing these straps, I'm going to go ahead and open up the top portion of the box, and you are presented with a message there. Please always keep this box for any possible after sales shipment. So you want to hold on to this box as well as all the packing material inside the box just for a little while. For whatever reason you might need to, return the e-bike. You got the box, you got all the shipping material. But opening up the box here, I'm going to bring my camera closer in just a moment here because I want to share with you just how well this e-bike is packed when you are going to receive it. So as you can see here, you got this really nice styrofoam to the one end of the box there with a nice cutout there for the wheel. You got a cutout there for the headlight, which is nice and wrapped. And then to the other corner, you got another styrofoam there, zip ties. You can see the tire. Now, I will give a recommendation to Cycrown that the seat does look to be a little scuffed. So I would recommend go ahead and wrap that seat maybe with some styrofoam or some plastic just for some extra protection. But overall, it seems to be packaged very nice there. And I'll take a closer look at that seat. It might just be something that just some markings on it. But you got this box right here, and we're going to take a look at that box in just a moment. And then you also have, which is in its own little cutout here in the styrofoam, what appears to be the front headlight, nice and wrapped. I'm going to put that off to the side. And then again, you get these really nice thick pieces of styrofoam that have these really nice cutouts to the end of the boxes here. So I'm gonna go ahead and remove the other piece here. Now again, this bike is gonna come in at a weight of 74.5 pounds. If you got a second person, it'll definitely be easier to get the e-bike out of the box, a little bit easier on the back for you. But take a look at how the CycVerve looks out of the box. As you can see, the frame is really nice and protected there with the styrofoam, the zip ties. You got the front wheel, which is nice and covered there. All right, so next I'm gonna go ahead and open up this box right here. I'm gonna go ahead and take a look at all the contents that are included, and I'm gonna share all the items with you in this video. Again, I'm gonna try to give you as much information in this video as possible. First thing you get is this card here, which says we're here for you, ready whenever, wherever, and you can see the different sites that you can contact Cycrown. Next, you got your user manual here. And I was going through this user manual, and it is very detailed. It gives you all the information you're going to need to know when it comes to your CycVerve, all the components. When it comes to assembly, it's going to basically give you images and it gives you step-by-step detailed instructions on how to assemble your Cycrown CycVerve e-bike here. So very, very detailed and really easy to understand. So definitely follow this user manual when it comes to the assembly of your new e-bike. But as you can see, really good there. And you got some tools that are going to be included to help you with the assembly of your CycVerve e-bike. You also get an additional toolkit here. So you got those tools that I just showed you, and then you got additional tools that you're going to have in this bag, as well as a reflector. So you're going to be able to add that reflector on to your e-bike, and then you got some additional tools here as well, 2 wrenches and then a screwdriver. And the next thing you have in this baggie here is going to be your foot pedals that you'll have to install. And then moving on from that, you're going to also have in this white box your charger. So let's go ahead and take a look at this charger here. So it looks like a pretty standard charger. I've seen this style on many other e-bikes as well as electric scooters. Should have an LED light to the front, which is going to be red when it's charging and solid green when it's fully charged. You just plug that portion into the bottom there. And then let's take a look at the back of the charger. And as you can see, that is going to be the type of connector to charge up the battery. And this is going to be a 2 amp charger. So this should take anywhere between 6 and 7 hours to charge up the battery. All right, so we got all that out of the way. I'm gonna go ahead and get the rest of these zip ties taken off, and then we can go ahead and start the assembly process of this bike. All right, so according to the instructions, first thing we're going to do is adjust the stem and have it facing forward. And then what you want to do next is get the hex wrench, find the correct size, and then you're going to go ahead and tighten that top bolt. Now, what you want to do also is tighten the bolts to the right and left-hand side. So right there, you're going to go ahead and make those nice, tight, and secure. So once you got the stem facing forward and you got the bolts all nice and tight. So the next step is with the same hex wrench, you're going to go ahead and remove the 4 bolts of the handlebar clamp. So you're going to see 4 bolts there. Go ahead and remove all 4 and remove the handlebar clamp. Now, once you get the clamp removed, this is where you're going to be able to install the handlebars. So make sure you're putting them in the right direction. Again, you want that display facing, towards you if you were sitting on the bike, just like that. And then once you get the handlebars onto the right placement, you can go ahead and reinstall the handlebar clamp as well as the 4 bolts. After installing the handlebars, I had to grab the Allen wrench here, and then what I had to do was loosen up the bolts to the display, because I did notice when I was looking at the handlebars after installation, the display was not in the center. Very easy, simple fix. All you got to do is loosen the 2 bolts that is holding the display on the handlebars, and then once you get them loose enough, you're going to be able to move the display to the center position. Again, very simple, easy to do. Once you get in that center position, then go ahead and re-tighten the bolts with the Allen wrench there. All right, so moving on from there, once you're done with that, you're going to go ahead and remove the bolt that's pre-installed on the front fork. So you're going to go ahead and remove that bolt because you're going to need it to install the headlight, which we have here. And as you can see, wrapped very nice, well protected. I don't see any damage to this headlight, which is really nice. It even has this protective film covering the front of the headlight there. It looks really, really nice, clean looking. A pretty large headlight, I gotta say. A very simple installation. Just with the bolts you removed from the front fork, you're gonna use those to attach the headlight now. And as you can see, it's very simple with the 2 tools that I have there. And this headlight is adjustable as well. Now, once you get the headlight on, you're going to go ahead and plug in the cables now. There are 2 arrows. You just align them together. And then this is all plug and play, and it just plugs in perfect, as you can see there. All right, so this piece right here is typically found on the bottom fork of the bike. When I got mine out of the box, it was already off. But if you see it there, you're gonna go ahead and remove it, and then get the front tire. You got this cover here, and you're gonna go ahead and remove this cover that's protecting the rotor there and the bolts. So once you remove that, you can go ahead and loosen up these bolts. Now, some people like to take them off. Me, I like to just loosen them all the way to the point as if they're going to, come off, but I don't remove them entirely. And I do that to the right and left-hand side of the tire. Now, you're also going to remove this red clamp here, which is connected to the brake caliper. If you don't remove that, then you won't be able to install the tire. So once you got your bolts all loosened up, you can go ahead and install the tire to your e-bike now. And you're just going to align up the brake rotor first. And once you get that in, the tire will connect to the forks of the bike there, just like that. Now, right here, you got to be very careful. There is a washer there that you're going to want to make sure that the washer hooks to the holes above the dropout. So that's very important. You'll see it right there. Then go ahead and tighten up the bolts. Take your time with this. Look at the user manual. It shows you exactly how you're supposed to install this tire, but this is basically it. Get it nice and tight. And you're going to do the same thing to the other side as well. Again, the safety washer, make sure that hooks to the holes above the dropout. Tighten the nuts with the supplied wrench there. Also make sure the disc brake rotor should be located in between the brake pads as well. Next, I'm gonna go ahead and install the foot pedals. So again, you got the right and left. So just make sure that the left pedal goes on counterclockwise and the right pedal goes on clockwise, just like so. And you have a set of keys here on the handlebars. You're gonna go ahead and remove those keys because you are gonna need them later to remove the battery if you so choose to, but put those in a safe place. And then you have your reflector there, which you can go ahead and apply to the front of the handlebars there. So we are done with the assembly of the Cycrown CycVerve All-terrain electric bike, and this is the end result right here. Take a look at this e-bike. Now this color right here is called Alpine White. It also comes in deep gray, gem blue, and emerald green. This bike is going to retail for $1,099 right now, and it looks really nice. I gotta say, I am very impressed. It's a big bike. I gotta say, it's a pretty beefy bike, have a very large frame. It has those huge 26 by 4-inch fat tire, all-terrain tires here, so you're going to be able to go off-roading with this. You're going to be able to do so much. And as you can see, the 7-speed Shimano tourney derailleur there, you got the derailleur guard, and you got the spoke wheels as well, reflector within the spokes. Some nice looking tires here. Again, these are some large tires you're getting. You can see the chain rink right there. I'm definitely gonna be testing this e-bike out when it comes to pedaling. I'll let you know how well you can pedal it, throttle response, as well as battery life. We're gonna do hill climbing. Then you got a label right there along the side, which gives you some information about this e-bike. Very minimal branding. You got just Cycrown branding to the side right there. As you can see how the battery sits to the frame of the e-bike. Again, this is a removable battery, step through design frame here, and take a look at that ground clearance you're getting there. And again, you got that nice beefy tire to the front. You got front fork suspension as well, so you can adjust the preload, you can lock it out. And take a look at the cable management there. Very nice cable management. It is, partially wrapped, but one thing I like about this e-bike is the fact that you only got the cables to the front, and then the rest of the cables run throughout the frame, so you won't even see the cables underneath the e-bike whatsoever. It looks nice, pretty clean. And take a look at the rotor there. So this is a 180mm rotor, and when it comes to the brakes, you're going to get hydraulic disc brakes as well. So you should get some really solid braking power, which I'll definitely test out in this review. Now, when it comes to the motor there, you are going to get a 750 watt rear hub motor, which peaks at 1100 watts. And then again, the brakes are going to be those hydraulic disc brakes. Nice beefy kickstand you are getting there. Overall, this looks like a really nice solid e-bike. As you can see, the seat, rear tail light, reflector. The welding looks spot on. Very clean welds on this bike. Let's go ahead and take a look at the handlebars now, the setup you got here. So you got pretty long handlebars, as you can see. And then with the grips, they look to be like pretty standard grips that you would see on most mountain bikes, but I'll definitely test them out and let you know how they feel in this review. Now, when it comes to the brake setup here on the right and left hand side, you got Logan branded hydraulic disc brakes. So I've seen these brakes in the past on other e-bikes, and they seem to have some pretty good stopping power, so I'll let you know as this review goes further as I test them out. Thumb throttle to the left hand side, so interesting placement. Typically thumb throttles are on the right hand side, so this is on the left, so I'm interested in testing out that thumb throttle and just seeing how natural it comes to pressing it. Moving on from there, you also got your control panel here. So in order to power on the display, you're going to long press on the power button, and that's going to activate the display, turn on the e-bike, and as you can see, you get a really nice color LCD display here. And it gives you a lot of information here, and as you can see, up on top is going to be your battery bar right there. Beneath that is going to be your miles per hour, your pedal assist level, and then your odometer reading. But it seems to be a really nice display here. I can see it. It's really bright outside, and there's no issues seeing it. The plus button there is going to cycle through the different pedal assist modes, and you got 5 levels of pedal assist. The minus button is going to lower down the pedal assist all the way down to 0, and 0 would be no power whatsoever on the e-bike. Now you have this button right here, which is going to toggle through the trip odometer, maximum speed, and average speed as well. All right, so moving on from there, you got a walk mode button. So this is pretty cool, just long press on that walk mode button, and then your CycVerve starts walking along with you. So this is perfect if you're going to be walking up a steep hill or maybe in a crowded area. Just use that walk mode button, and then you can just walk along with the e-bike here. Pretty cool. All right, to activate the headlight, just press that button right there. And then once you activate the headlight, you get an icon on the top of the display. One thing I noticed is when you turn on the headlight, the display will become dim, as you can see there. Now I can still see it outside. It's still daylight out. It's pretty bright, and I can still see the display with the light on. Then you have a pretty loud horn right underneath the control panel there. Now I also want to mention that underneath the control panel is going to be a charging port, a USB port available. So this is pretty awesome. You know, you can be able to charge up your cell phone while you're on the go, charge up your Bluetooth speaker. And this is a cool feature which should be on pretty much all e-bikes. But yeah, as you can see, it is charging up my smartphone there. Moving on to the right-hand side, you have your shifter there for shifting up and shifting down. Pretty standard Shimano shifter you got there. And then you also have your right brake on the right hand side. Overall, you know, pretty nice clean setup here when it comes to the handlebars. One thing I really like is all the space you got there for mounting additional accessories on the handlebars. Now that is really nice. Now when it comes to the suspension here, you can adjust the preload as you can see there. So this is really great to see on this e-bike there. I've seen other e-bikes, same price, and they don't have this feature there of the preload, and you can lock out or open up the suspension. So two good options you got available there on the CycVerve. All right, moving on to the seat now. So when it comes to the seat, it seems like a pretty standard seat. You get a little bit of cushion to the seat here, but it does feel pretty firm. I'm going to go ahead and test this seat out a little bit more in this video, and towards the end of the review, I'll let you know my thoughts, you know, on the seat after I put some miles. As you can see, the seat post does extend up pretty high, and it is a pretty long seat post. Now, Cycrown said this bike is going to be recommended for people from the height of 5'3" up to 6'3". So as you can see how high that seat post goes, it would probably fit somebody 6'3", and that's the lowest position, and it gets locked in at the seat post there. Moving on, let's go ahead and talk about the brake light now. So with this brake light, it is not activated by the actual hydraulic brakes. It's battery operated. You got a reflector up on top and then a button beneath it. When you press the button, it will turn on to a solid red color. And then once you press the button again, it will have this flashing effect to the back of the brake light. Press it again to turn off the brake light. So battery operated brake light is what you're getting to the back here. And taking a look at the front headlight there, I just want to share with you how it looks in the daytime. Really nice looking headlight. It's fairly large, but I'll definitely test this headlight out later in this review in low light and just let you know how good this looks in a dark situation. But it looks pretty nice there. Now when it comes to the battery here, as you can see, it is nice and flush to the frame of the Cycrown here. So it looks good, you know. So if you want to charge it up, you can charge it with the charging port here. There's a flap and you can just plug in the charger right there, and you can leave the battery in the frame there and charge up. Or if you want, you can go ahead and remove the battery from the CycVerve here. Again, you're going to receive two sets of keys. These keys are pretty much identical, and they're just used to lock and unlock the battery. So basically just put the key in and then put it to the unlock position, and then there's a safety switch right there that you have to press, and then lower down the battery, you know, just very carefully, because it definitely has some weight, so you don't want to drop it as you release the safety switch there. But that's basically the battery. You know, pretty easy to remove. You got the charging port right there. Now with this battery, it definitely has some good weight to it. And then you also got a LED indicator right there with the press of a button to check the charge. As you see, it'll turn green. Now with this battery here, it is a 48 volt, 15.6 amp hour battery. As you can see, battery information there. And this is UL certified. So you're definitely getting a UL certified battery here. So this is perfect, you know, to charge it outside of your bike, and you want to take it indoors, you can definitely do that and charge it up. And then installing the battery, very simple. Just press it back into the frame and make sure you lock it with the key there so it doesn't accidentally, you know, fall out while you are riding. But, you know, really nice that you're able to remove the battery on the CycVerve here. All right, so let me go ahead and get on the CycVerve here. I just want to share with you how my posture looks while sitting on this bike here. So I'm 5'7", as you can see. The posture of my arms, they are kind of bent down slightly, and then with my feet I can almost flat foot the ground there. Now with one foot on the pedal, I'll share with you right here, with one foot on the pedal, then my right foot can, you know, flat foot the ground there. But, you know, pretty easy step through design there. It is a high step through. It is pretty tall step through. But for me, I mean, I could easily get on and off the bike here. And me at 5'7", I feel very comfortable sitting on this bike. All right, so it is time for the speed test. So first speed test we're going to do here is going to be in pedal assist 1. No throttle, just pedaling. Let's see how fast we can go with just pedaling on assist 1 here. So as you can see, it looks like 10 miles per hour with the GPS on my phone, 9 miles per hour on the display of the CycVerve. All right, pedal assist 2 now, we are up to 16 miles per hour on the GPS, 15 on the display of the bike. Pedal assist 3 now, and you definitely feel that motor engage. Probably about 2 rotations, 2 pedals, and that motor engages, and you feel the power of that motor. All right, so we are on pedal assist 4, topping out at 24 miles per hour. Pedal assist 5 now. Let's see if we can reach that 28 miles per hour advertised speed. We're at 27, 28. GPS says 28. The display on the bike says 27. So in fact, you are going to be going 1 mile faster than what the display is showing. All right, so we definitely hit 28 miles per hour in pedal assist. Now we're going to do just throttle. Only throttle now. And we're going to start at pedal assist 1. So level 1, just throttle. Let's see how fast we can go. So you definitely feel that motor kick in. It is a powerful 750 watt, 1100 peak motor we got here. All right, assist 2 is going to be 16 miles per hour. And again, you got that 1 mile difference there, but it's actually a good thing because, I mean, you're actually going faster than what the display is showing. So assist 3, 20 miles per hour. Assist 4 now is going to get us up to the top speed of 24, looks like 24 miles per hour. And then I'm going to bump this up to pedal assist 5, the highest mode, and see if we can hit that 28 miles per hour. 26. We are at 27, 28. So this bike can definitely hit 28 miles per hour. And as you can see, the display and the GPS are matching now. So yeah, this definitely reaches the advertised speed. All right, everybody, we are going to do the hill climbing test now. So this is one of the steepest hills in my area. I've tested a lot of electric scooters on this hill, and a lot of them will struggle going up this hill. Some of them, the lower end scooters, will not be able to make it. They'll make it halfway, and that's it. But we're going to go on pedal assist 5, throttle only, no pedaling. As you can see, we're picking up speed here, 16 miles per hour, 17, and 18 miles per hour now. But again, this is a very, very steep hill in my area, and we're going to be approaching the steepest part of the hill right here. As you can see, the speed is reducing, but we're still climbing up the hill. We're at 12 miles per hour, back down to 11 miles per hour now. But yeah, we're definitely making it up the hill. It looks like the motor is doing extremely well, and we have just made it up this very, very steep hill. So I am very, very impressed with the CycVerve here. It made it up the hill, no problems whatsoever. I've actually tested this e-bike out on a couple other steep hills, and it gets up these hills with no problem. So you definitely got a real great hill climbing e-bike here with the CycVerve. All right, so the next test I'm going to do here is the braking test. So I'm up here on this really windy trail. Now, when you go up here, you definitely need to have an e-bike that has good quality brakes. And I've been testing out these brakes throughout the trail here, and these brakes are excellent, and they have good stopping power. I have no issues, no complaints. Again, you got the Logan hydraulic brakes here, but yeah, as soon as you pull them, you feel that braking power. And I've tested them out on different environments here, and they're really good quality brakes, no complaints. You're gonna have some really good stopping power here. All right, so moving on, let's go ahead and talk about the throttle response. So when you're just using the throttle alone, I would say there is probably like this 1 second delay when the throttle kicks on and the motor engages, you know, but it's nothing major. It's actually very typical with a lot of e-bikes as well as e-scooters. But yeah, when you press that throttle, it's responsive, but there's about like a 1 second delay. You might not even notice it, but I figured I would just point it out. Now, when it comes to the handling and just the maneuverability on this bike here, you can definitely maneuver really well. It handles good. As you can see, I am on a windy road here, and I can just basically hit the corners, hit those tight corners really good. I can carve out on this bike. And this bike also has a really good turning radius, so you can really turn these handlebars really far into the right and to the left, which is nice. Now, when it comes to these tires here, you got the 26 by 4 inch fat tire, all terrain, and I feel like they work great on all environments here, whether you are, you know, riding on a paved road, the street, or on gravel. these tires actually do a really good job. All right, so I went ahead and did some off-roading tests here with the CycVerve. Again, Cycrown advertises this as an all-terrain electric bike. So hitting the trails was so much fun. I went on trails that I've never been on before, and I felt very confident going on these trails. The front suspension handled extremely well. Again, you can you can switch up the rebound. You can lock out the suspension if you need to. Those 26 by 4-inch fat tires definitely held up. I didn't get any flats or anything like that. And I was running over some pretty sharp rocks there and going through all different types of terrain. You definitely got more than enough power here that this e-bike will just push you through all different environments. And this bike just wants to go whether you're pedaling or using throttle. When it comes to the IP certification, the water resistance is IPX4. So, you can handle some light splashes. But I went ahead, went through a couple creeks right there, a little bit of streams of water, and it did really well. I even went going through this area here, which was really muddy, mossy, and it just pushed right through it. So you can definitely do some good off-roading on this bike here. All right, like I mentioned earlier, I was going to be testing this e-bike out in all different terrains, different environments, and that's exactly what I did. So for the past couple days, I was using this e-bike exclusively to navigate through my city, to go to the store, to go to work, and it's been a really enjoyable experience. I gotta say, if you're thinking about using this as a commuter bike, it's definitely a great option. You got that step-through frame, which you can get on and off easily. Cycrown also sells a rear rack for this, as well as fenders, so you can go ahead and pick that up and install a basket. I just threw my backpack on and I went to the market. I just kind of threw the items in my backpack, but I was easily able to navigate around my city perfectly fine. I felt safe. I felt like this e-bike has more than enough power and range, and the handling is really good on this e-bike. And I just had so much fun, navigating through the bike lanes in my city. Sometimes I had to go in traffic and, make like a left-hand turn at the light. I was easily able, to flow with traffic perfectly fine. So this would definitely make a very capable e-bike if you wanted to use it as a commuter to work or school, or just for riding around town for fun. Now, when it comes to pedaling this e-bike here, it's actually a pretty enjoyable experience with the 5 different levels of pedal assist, as well as the Shimano 7-speed that is available. And this does have the cadence sensor, so I would say it takes about 2 revolutions, 2 rotations of the pedal, and then you feel that motor kick in, it will engage, and you'll definitely feel that power once you start pedaling. And the more you pedal this e-bike, the better the range you are going to get. So when it came to the range test, I weigh about 210 pounds with my gear. I was in pedal assist 4 and 5 and using throttle most of the time. So I was really trying to kill this e-bike battery here, but after 3.5 hours of riding, I got to the point where the battery indicator was flashing, but the battery was still going. The e-bike could have kept going as well, but I figured that was good enough. I covered over 3 hours of riding, over 24 miles of range. So I honestly think if you use pedal assist more and not just throttle, you can probably reach that 60 miles of claim range. Like I mentioned earlier in my review, I cover pretty much all areas of the e-bikes when I review them. Now, when it comes to the headlight here, this is an area where I always cover because I ride my bikes at night. I know a lot of us ride at night also, and you definitely want to know, is this headlight bright enough, or are you going to need to add a secondary light? But you definitely have a super bright headlight here. It has a long throw, it's super wide, and you will not need to add a secondary light because this headlight is bright enough. It's going to light up the path in front of you, and even the brake light is really bright at night too. So you're definitely going to be seeing, you're going to be able to see everything that's in front of you. As you can see, I turned the handlebars, the light turns with the handlebars as well. So it's just a really great light. It's 70 lux headlight here. As you can see, when it's off and when it's on, there's a huge difference. So excellent headlight there. All right, everybody, that's pretty much it for my unboxing and full detailed honest review of the Cycrown CycVerve All-terrain electric bike. Hopefully this video was helpful for you and the information I provided can help in your purchasing decision. But overall, guys, I honestly believe this is a great e-bike. It definitely checks a lot of the boxes and items that you would want when it comes to performance and components in an electric bike, an all-terrain electric bike. Now, if there was 2 areas I would have to talk about at the end, which are not areas that I feel are negative. It's just two things that I want to mention. All right, first thing is when it comes to the seat. The seat I would upgrade. The seat is a little too firm for me, and I would choose something with a little bit more of a suspension seat post. That's what I would choose, just because there is no rear suspension. This seat might be okay for you if you are going on short rides, but I just feel like if you are going to be riding this like I did for like over 20 miles, you might want a suspension seat post. And the second thing, I would go ahead and purchase the rear rack and fenders that is offered on Cycrown's website, because as you see from underneath my battery here, I got a lot of dirt and mud and grind just from off-roading. So if you get those fenders, it's going to prevent all that buildup underneath your battery. So Cycrown does have rear rack and fenders for sale, and I think you can also get them for free for a limited time if you decide to purchase this e-bike. But that's pretty much it. Other than that, the seat upgrade, and I would recommend getting the rear rack and fenders. This is a fantastic value. Again, $1,100, and you're getting a lot of bang for your buck here. This is an e-bike I honestly believe you'll be happy with, and it's one I recommend. Once again, everybody, if you're interested in this e-bike, there's a link in the description below of this video, and you can go ahead and make the purchase there. It might be one of my affiliate links. If it is, and you make the purchase, I get a small kickback at no extra cost to you. Thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing, and I will talk to you on the next one. Bye.